May I come in, sir? May I come in?
Please come.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Please take a seat.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. How do I pronounce your name?
Viku L Achumi, ma'am.
Achumi.
Yes, ma'am.
But I call you Viku?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I read that you play football.
Yes, ma'am.
You play even now or earlier?
Ma'am, now, as of now, I do not play.
Okay.
However, in my free times and when I am not preparing for the UPSC examination, I used to play.
You do play.
Yes, ma'am.
Where do you stay?
Ma'am, currently I came from my district in 𝐂𝐶, and in the month of March, I came to Delhi and I'm staying in South Delhi at the moment.
You are in South Delhi. That's a good area.
Yes, ma'am.
So tell me, what position do you play in football?
Ma'am, I play left wing or left forward.
Left forward.
Yes, ma'am.
Not a goalkeeper.
No, ma'am.
No goalkeeper. He's backed up always. He has to save.
Yes, ma'am.
Goalkeeper has to save the goal.
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
Okay. So can you tell me that there are certain painters in India, people who paint,
Yes.
right? And they're very well known painters. Do you have any idea or you're not interested?
Ma'am, I do not have much idea, but I've heard about M.F. Hussain.
MF.
Yes.
And what did he paint?
Ma'am, that I'm not
You
aware
have
about.
seen his painting? You haven't seen.
I have seen in the past, but I do not remember exactly. ma'am.
He paints horses. His favorite hobby is horses. So he used to paint a group of horses running in all positions. He's a very good painter, very well known, internationally known. Okay, doesn't matter. So now we are talking of poverty eradication, right?
Yes, ma'am.
There is there are poor people and there is a cycle of poverty.
Yes.
Have you ever heard?
Yes, ma'am.
Will you tell me kindly?
Ma'am, there is a vicious cycle of poverty
Right.
which exists, and due to poverty, there is lack of proper amenities with respect to healthcare facilities or education, which further leads to lack of proper development of the poor, and which further leads to lack of proper skilling and skills required for employment.
Yeah.
And which leads to lack of employment and job facilities and less income, and thus leading to more poverty.
It's going
And this continues to the next generation, and it continues.
Like a cycle.
Yes, ma'am.
And food also, you did not mention food. They get less food.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
So their overall health is deficient.
Yes, ma'am.
And a deficient person will produce a deficient child.
Yes,
A deficient child, as you said, next generation, it will keep going. Isn't
yes,
it?
ma'am.
Now, in your state, which is the major crop? What crops do you grow?
Ma'am, crops which are grown are paddy, and other includes soybean,
Soya bean.
and yes, ma'am.
Good
Yes,
enough.
ma'am.
So you tell me, is soya bean nutritionally very high in protein?
Yes, ma'am.
It is, isn't it?
Yes,
It's like a substitute for meat.
yes, ma'am.
If you
It
eat
is.
meat or you don't eat. So if you have soya bean, you get your
Yes,
protein.
yes, ma'am.
Do you eat protein or you eat only meat?
Ma'am, with respect to soybean, there is a traditional food in my tribe
Okay.
that is called akhoni,
Akumi.
whereby soybean is fermented and it is eaten. It is cooked and eaten. So
First fermented, then cooked and eaten.
first cooked and then
Then
fermented
fermented.
for
Other
some
way around.
duration, and then made into a paste. And
As
then,
a paste.
Yes,
And then eaten.
and then it is preserved above the smoke in the firewood, in the fireplace.
Okay.
And then yes.
How
it is
long
eaten.
can it stay?
I mean, usually it also stays for 2 to 3 months.
2 to
2
3.
to 3 months, yes.
And you eat it with rice or just like that?
Ma'am, we eat it in various delicacy. It is a kind of dal which we
Oh, it's like
so
a dal.
we make it with different vegetables and others as well.
What is your tribe's name? What?
Ma'am, it is Sumi tribe.
Sumi tribe.
Yes.
Right, sir.
Well, Viku, what is the tourism potential in Nagaland? Is government of Nagaland doing something to promote tourism?
Sir, with respect to tourism potential, government is also doing a lot. First of all, with respect to promoting of the festivals in Nagaland. So Nagaland is called a land of festivals. So government of Nagaland is also promoting Hornbill Festival, which is also called Festivals of Festival, whereby different tribes come together and showcase their folk tradition and other folk songs to the other people of different tribes, and also other avenues includes the ecotourism, which is of huge potential, such as the Zuku Valley, which is being promoted in Nagaland, and also there are some other aspects such as the biodiversity in Nagaland, which is also famous for various flora and fauna. So these are the things which government are doing.
Okay. Now tell me, what are two strong areas of Naga culture?
Sir, the first strong area I believe is the hospitality to the people from different people, and the other is the bond which exists between the kinship, the family, and the culture.
Bond, yeah.
Yes.
Now, this G20 presidency is coming to India.
Yes.
For next year. How do you see it as an opportunity for India to project itself as a global leader?
Sir, with respect to G20 presidency, in this present scenario when the world is going through a stage of crisis, namely the COVID crisis and also the Ukraine, and also the issues going on in the Indo-Pacific, and then the so-called Cold War. So in this scenario, India has a role to play in order to project itself of being a major emerging player, and it could also play a role in negotiating peace between the global powers.
Okay.
And yes.
Good. My last question, Viku, have you heard of this one conference, annual conference in Delhi, 𝐅𝐸𝐶 Dialogue?
Yes, sir.
What is this about?
𝐅𝐸𝐶 Dialogue is a track to diplomacy, whereby the researchers and prominent strategists, international scholars, and prominent leaders come and opine their various opinions.
Is it going to be held this year?
Yes, sir. It is currently going to be held in this coming month.
Thank you,
sir.
Mr. Viku,
Yes, sir.
tell me, many people say that in Northeast the roads cannot be improved because the type of soil which is found in Northeast, that itself there is a problem with that. So, improving the road is difficult. Is it so?
Sir, with respect to the roads, in some areas there are
What type of soil it is?
sir, exact soil I do not remember, sir.
Otherwise, you have seen the soil.
Yes, sir. So
What soil it is?
Sir,
How does it look like?
it also looks like little bit black in color, gray in color, which is not pure soil. And as a result, when rain comes, the soil sinks and landslide occurs. And there is huge cost which is spent on maintenance of the roads.
Suppose you join the Indian Administrative Service
Yes, sir.
and you have some funds for road improvement. With the knowledge of civil engineering, which are the areas in which you would like to make improvement on the road, existing roads?
Yes. Sir, with respect to Nagaland?
Yes, yes, certainly.
Yes. Sir, so
Areas means in a road, which points you will keep it in mind for improvement.
yes, sir.
I am not talking about whether it is Zunabetu or Mokokshu, whatever, not that.
Sir, so with respect to the funds which would be available, first of all, I would ensure that there is safety in the roads. So there are some spots which are called black spots, where by lots of accident occurs. So in those areas, one can put up signboards or maybe some engineering techniques which could be applied in that locations to avoid accidents in those areas. And also with respect to maintenance of the roads, sir, there are lots of areas where due to lack of maintenance, the roads deteriorate very fast. So I would ensure that maintenance is done in a regular manner. Other aspects also includes, sir, this is all I can-
Curvature of road. So some places the curvature of road is not appropriate to the speed at which the people are negotiating the turn. So that a hairpin bend and other things can be improved upon over a period of time. Somewhere you will find a hill section is obstructing the view from the other side. That can be shaved off and then it can be brought better. So lots of civil engineering principles can be applied. Okay. There is an act called Armed Forces Special Powers Act.
Yes, sir.
Is it applicable to Nagaland or not?
Yes, sir. In certain police stations and districts in Nagaland.
Say around 14 police stations or something. Whatever.
Yes, sir.
Must be some districts it's applicable. Okay. There is a connection of Armed Forces Special Powers Act to disturbed areas. What is the connection between the two?
Sir, with respect to Armed Force Special Power Act
And the disturbed areas.
yes, sir. So, with respect to Armed Force Special Power Act, there is a provision in Armed Force Special Power Act whereby it declares certain area which are prone to insurgency or militancy, whereby through this act, those areas are declared disturbed areas.
Okay. And then what happens if they are declared as disturbed areas then?
Sir, in those disturbed area, the armed forces can arrest without warrant or even shoot by giving prior warning, and there would not be any action taken against the armed forces.
Which particular provision of Armed Forces Act is most hated in Northeast, or say it's most controversial, or is hated by the people in Northeast?
Sir, with respect to that, the shooting of the people, shooting of the suspected insurgent groups or the terrorists with just prior warning, that's the most.
The answerability is not there.
Yes, sir.
Answerability to the civil administration is not there. So that is what people are worried about.
Yes, sir.
And they can set fire to any house or destroy any house with explosives without any previous warning. That's written down in the act. That is what is. You have visited Shillong also. You have visited Guwahati also.
Sir, I visited Guwahati, but however, I have not visited Shillong.
Oh, so far you have not been to Shillong.
Yes, sir.
You selected your center at Shillong.
Yes, sir. But later on, I shifted to Guwahati.
But you shifted it to. Why it has happened? That's why I want to. Why you shifted from Shillong to Guwahati?
Sir,
and why did you select Shillong at all then?
Shillong, I felt that it will be more pleasant.
It is pleasant, yes.
But however, the mains was postponed by 3 months to the month of January. It was about to be held on September. So I thought of writing it in Shillong. However, due to the cold in January in Shillong, I decided to write in Dispur, Guwahati itself.
Wonderful. Otherwise, Shillong is a good place.
Yes, sir.
All over the Northeast people come and take rest in Shillong.
Yes.
Enjoy life and go back.
Yes.
Including the insurgents from different locations. Okay. Right.
You heard of donor, Ministry of Donor?
Yes, sir.
So why a separate ministry was, formed for particular state or states? There is no ministry for Madhya Pradesh, ministry for Northern India. Why ministry for Northeastern region?
Sir, with respect to Ministry of Donor, so far it was seen that there was lack of proper development and infrastructure facilities in Northeast. So, Department for Development of Ministry for Development of Northeast region was set up, and also in order to facilitate the implementation of the various schemes of various ministry in the government, that was also set up, sir, and to give special emphasis to the Northeastern area with respect to any problems which may arise, so as to facilitate those solving of those problems. This Ministry of Donor was set up, sir.
Good. So tell me, you are a civil engineer, and it was mentioned that the roads in Nagaland are in bad condition.
Yes,
right? Even this Dimapur to Kohima road, I don't know whether it has been completed or not. So this road infrastructure or bad roads, is this one of the reasons for less development in Nagaland?
Sir, this is one of the reasons, sir. there are also other reasons. However, this is one of the major reasons I also believe, because even to travel from Kohima to my home district, that is Zineboto, that is just 150 kilometer, but it takes me around 7 hours to travel. So logistically,
So tell
it is
me,
very
what are the
difficult
places you would like to connect with, like outside the state and within the state? If you were the, the deciding authority, that yes, you have got immense resources to make roads, which are the road arteries you would, prioritize from where to where, so that the economy of Nagaland, improves?
Sir.
Can you try?
Sir, with respect to the road infrastructure, Nagaland also being a nod to the Act East policy, which Indian government is also taking up, I believe that Nagaland could serve as one of the spots whereby connectivity to the other international region, such as Myanmar and Thailand, could also be connected. So using the route via Dimapur to Kohima, and Kohima to Imphal, and Imphal to More, and the subsequent Myanmar and Thailand could also be one of those roads.
But that is already there, a highway, Asian highway.
Yes, sir, that is there.
From Myanmar, it will go up to Thailand,
Thailand, sir,
and maybe even beyond that.
and beyond that, sir. And sir, other roads also includes the eastern region of Nagaland, whereby there is lesser development in the eastern region of Nagaland. So in those areas, there could be better connectivity with respect to connectivity with Assam, the plain regions of Assam, and also to facilitate international trade, connectivity with Myanmar as well.
Good.
Sir.
Now tell me, today in the newspaper I saw that the United States is ready to offer weapons to India, and asking India not to depend on Russia. We'll give all the weapons. Now with this stipulation, with this announcement, or with this assurance or pledge, the word is pledge. If India has a choice now, and everything remaining the same, in terms of prices and all, where should India buy weapons from henceforth?
Sir, with respect to weapons, first of all, India should keep in mind that ultimately it is self-sufficiency and indigenization of defense that is the most important, and India should strive towards it. However, for the time being, India at this moment should try to reduce its dependency on Russia and depend more on USA. USA being its partner, whereby it could also tackle China in the Indo-Pacific. So I believe that India should increase its dependency on USA instead of Russia. Sir.
All right. Thank you.
CV that you have studied at a SARIC school,
Yes.
and thereafter you went to IIT Kanpur. Now, recently, female students have also been allowed into SANIC schools, and now also female cadets can join NDA. Happy about it?
Yes, sir. I am happy about it.
Are you cursing your age that you should have been younger? Huh?
Hopefully.
Okay, so what are the advantages that accrue to an institution if you allow both the genders to learn simultaneously and stay simultaneously?
So the advantages.
Wherever, at a school or at an institution like NDA, what are the advantages that accrues to an institution and the training that goes therein?
Sir, with respect to the advantage of co-educational institutions, I believe that men behave responsibility in the presence of the other gender as well. And also with respect to the women population, so far they have been excluded in the defense, in the armed combat parts of the defense. So I believe that inclusion of women in the Sainik schools and in NDS, in these institutions, would pave more way for women to participate actively and contribute to the nation building. And yes, sir, that is all.
Okay, so you faced so many questions related to road because you happen to be a civil engineer by training. Have you ever cared to look at the biodiversity map of India? You must have seen the physical map of India. You must have seen the political map of India. Have you seen the biodiversity map of India?
Sir, I have seen the biodiversity hotspot map of India.
Yeah, that is
Yes, sir,
precisely
I
what
have
I'm asking for.
Yes, sir, I have seen it.
So, where do you situate the northeastern part of India in that map?
Sir, northeastern part of India is situated in the Indo-Burma hotspot of the world, sir.
Yeah. So now look at this question of so many roads being built and so forth, and the biodiversity wealth that the Northeast is sitting on. Now, can you do cost benefit analysis of the two? You allow it to be like any other part of India, or you should dig deep into your core value in terms of economy, I'm saying, where more value is there, and build on that rather. Do you think that the entire Northeast paradigm of economic development should be premised on the biodiversity wealth that it is sitting on?
Sir, with respect to that, I would go for the sustainable development of the northeastern region. I believe that in northeastern area has a huge wealth of biodiversity, which could also be used as a economic potential of ecotourism and also attract wealth through promotion. And through wealth which is gained through this, it could also be invested in promoting more of the biodiversity. And however, with respect to the connectivity of roads, sir, the roads which are already there, Nagaland has a huge density of roads which has already been constructed. However, with respect to maintenance, it is not doing well in that area. So the government can focus on the maintenance and rehabilitation of the existing roads so that there is efficient logistic transportation for the industries to prosper in Nagaland and areas.
What is genetic engineering? What do we do in this genetic engineering?
Sir, in genetic engineering, there is a modification of genes. For example, using different technologies. There is a technology by the name of CRISPR-Cas9, whereby certain portions of genes are edited and replaced with the desirable portions from other parts of different genes, and it is used to create better
Do you
things,
think as a resident of one of the states in the Northeast, in Nagaland, do you think that genetic laboratories, etc., that infrastructure is also very deficient in the Northeast, and that is something that there should be noise about? Has it ever occurred to you that gene-based industries or genetic engineering institutions, etc., should abound in the Northeast?
Sir,
Is it a political issue over there?
Sir, with respect to that, I also observed that there is no such laboratory. There is only few laboratory which has been set up in the area, and I believe that setting up of such laboratory will also help in the research of the different biodiversity which exists in the northeastern area, and at the same time which will help it to diversify and do more research and development in this area to help gain better development in these areas.